Thank you to Mr. Rooney, Coach T, and Omar for picking me. I'm ready to just prove those three guys right and get to work in Pittsburgh.
Questions?
Derek, how did you do it?
I'm doing the best I can right now. I'm doing the best I can. I'm in football and I'm in my element, so got my mind off a few things, but I'm okay.
What was it feeling when you came in and for the first time saw your locker, saw the facility?
Unbelievable, man. It was a dream come true. Got around my guys, my new teammates, and just ready to get to work with them.
Have you been able to handle the emotions of this is your dream come true, being in the NFL, but also deal with personal loss?
I don't know. I'm still dealing with it. I don't know. I'm just putting one foot in front of the other, really.
Derek, what are some early impressions of your new teammates?
I love these guys, man. Everybody's ready to work, ready to get to it, and everybody's coming out with a high energy. We had our first walkthrough, and guys are getting after it and just coaching each other up, doing things like that. So.
I noticed they have your locker right next to Keanu Benton. You guys are two young linemen that are part of the future. You got to talk to Keanu at all?
Yeah, we've been talking since we got here. Sitting next to me and all. So that's a nice teammate to have. He came from the Big Ten just like me, so we know how ball is.
Have you talked to Cam? Did you talk to Cam?
Yeah, Cam hit me up when I got drafted. He texted me, and that was good. So.
You talked to you about how you said you studied his tape a lot when you wanted to learn how to be a run defender?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. He was really just giving me my condolences and congratulating me on getting drafted. I can't wait to talk to him once he gets in the locker room.
Is there a bit of surrealness with like, hey, like I'm literally going to be playing with this guy that I've been studying to get better in my whole career?
Yeah, it's still unbelievable. So.
Yeah, what's the top of your to-do list in terms of football? What's the thing that you're working on right now, you're focused on right now, trying to get better at?
Just to help my team out, man. Just to get to work with my team and be a good rookie and find that vet to get under his wing and just learn this game because it's a whole different game from college.
I know it's early, but what have conversations been like with the team in terms of your role on this defensive line, and what do you see yourself as fitting in with that line?
Whatever role they give me, I can play my role to the best of my ability. If that's me just being a rookie, sitting on the sideline, that's starting day one. I'm just here to play my role to the best of my ability.
How familiar are you with a lot of the guys in your rookie class? I mean, they drafted practically the whole Big Ten. I mean, what do you know about playing against those guys?
Yeah, we got the O State guys here. Still upset about that loss. But it's good to have guys on my team. Some hell of a ball players. So.
Have you had much conversation with Will? Kind of talking about this game?
No, not really. But we did talk. We didn't talk about the game. We might in the locker room chop it up about it though.
Derek, what's this weekend like? You get a lot of stuff thrown at you. Is it kind of overwhelming at times?
No, so I'm coming from Oregon, and they throw everything at us. So I was in the NFL at Oregon, and I feel like I'm right here. So they prepare us at Oregon very well for this type things.
How about schematically, when you come from an odd front, does that help now?
Most definitely, yes, sir.
Obviously, what are your early impressions of Coach Dunbar?
Hell of a coach. A guy that's gonna coach you hard, but he cares about his players. So.
The shoulder, does it require management, or is it going to be a minor?
Nothing's wrong with my shoulder. I'm 100% healthy, ready to go.
Derek, how did you rebuild your body from where you were at in high school and in college?
Really just work. Just work and getting a good nutrition plan and really just working out. That's it.
Couple more here.
You're here, and YA is here largely to improve the run defense and improve the defensive front collectively. For your whole unit, how important is it for you guys to come out strong and set that tone early that you're going to be?
We got to set it early. This is a totally different league from what I'm used to and what Black is used to. We just got to come here and dominate. That's what we got to do.
When you were drafted, they said you have Steelers DNA. Being in this organization and learning more about it, what do you think makes you the right fit for this organization?
You got to have some grit to be in this organization. You got to have a little bit of edge to you, and you got to play with a little bit of pride to you, and I feel like that's me.
You got
last one here.
So far, what's your experience been like with Pittsburgh?
I haven't been around. I got to the hotel yesterday, came in the building, got done some meetings, then went back to the hotel, slept, and came here in the morning.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate y'all.
All right, so after the finding out that my microphone wasn't recording me at all, which it happens sometimes if it loses its in the properties of what I want to be recorded as far as microphone, which doesn't happen often, but it sometimes does happen, and unfortunately it happened here when I'm trying to record multiple videos, so yay for me. So with Derek, him and Cam, they do have that connection of losing a parent at a young age. Cam lost his dad, I believe, late high school, and his mom really took over as far as college recruiting and stuff like that. And Derek losing his mom just out of college. So they do have that connection, but it's not going to be exactly the same. It's never exactly the same how someone has a relationship with a certain individual. So Cam and his dad have a different relationship than Derek and his mom. And that goes for anybody. So while it's not exactly the same, it is similar. He doesn't know exactly how Derek feels. No one knows exactly how Derek feels except for Derek. But, you know, it'll be a good, you know, source of information for Derek to have Cam and his locker being next to Keanu as well, so they can kind of grow together as well. And Keanu's even been in the league for a couple years now, and he can help Derek in multiple ways as well.
What do you think so far here?
I'm in love with it, especially with Coach Tomlin, especially with that guy right there. You know, I love it here. I really love it here, and I can't wait to get, you know, play on Sundays with these guys, and, you know, just, you know, overall compete. That's the main thing right now: compete, learn the playbook, and, you know, get ready for Sundays. So.
You feel like you have a good opportunity here? Are you excited about this?
Yes, sir. I feel like me and Warren and all the other RBs got a very good opportunity to do good here and do great things. So, you know, I'm about to just go in there, you know, as a rookie, learn from Warren, learn from Gainwell, you know, and really just, you know, put my hat down and, you know, keep going.
What is it that you love? Is it the energy? Is it what
it's just the energy, the atmosphere, and everybody here is just so welcoming. Even the college, even Coach Arduzzi up there, you know, they just also welcome me, man. And I just really, you know, just appreciate them for, you know, believing in me and taking me in and, you know, just letting me come in and do what I need to do, you know, to help the team win.
There's a massive Big Ten vibe on this rookie class.
Yeah.
How do you think the conference prepared you for this?
I feel like it prepared me for everything. I feel like, you know, me going against, you know, Jack Sawyer here and, you know, Carson Bruner, you know, all them guys I played against them guys and we're together. So, you know, it's all, you know, all comes together, man. So I feel like, you know, it's just, you got to go in there and just do your thing. Do what you need to do when you got here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing. That's what I'm doing now.
Do you feel like this is a good fit, this offense for you?
Great fit, you know, great fit. You know, learning from Coach Faulkner, you know, he did it. He's one of the greats, I feel like, you know, coaching. And, you know, as far as, you know, Warren, you know, Najee being here, Le'Veon, all them guys, you know, coming under here and they was really doing successful. You know, Najee had 1,000 yards every 4 years. So, you know, that just don't happen for no reason. So I feel like, you know, I want to be the next level. I want to come in, you know, I want to get more. I want to be Rookie of the Year. That's my main thing. Win the Super Bowls, Rookie of the Year, you know, All Pro. I want to do all that, you know, and I feel like, you know, they can best support me here and I can get here and I can do it. So.
What do you think are going to be the most important things to hit the ground running then and accomplish some of those goals quickly?
I feel like, you know, learning the playbook. And I feel like, you know, learn the atmosphere, you know, and, you know what you need to do to stay on the field. You know, that's my main thing right now, is trying to stay on the field, you know, every down and show coaches I can be every down back, you know. And like you said, I'm be kickoff returner too. So I just want to do whatever it takes to help the team win right now. So that's my main thing.
What are some of the things you feel like you need to work on the most? Not just
pass blocking. Pass blocking, that's my main thing. That's what I want to work on, and I'm working on every day after practicing. You know, just going over the bag right there and hitting it, you know, with Coach Faulkner, and really just learning and really learning from Warren too, because he's one of the best doing the league right now. So, you know, I told him let's do it. Let's work after every practice and do it. So he with it. So I'm down to go. So.
Have you heard about the backs on backers stuff going on in Latrobe at training camp?
What's going on?
It's a first day in pads. You'll do backs on backers. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So.
Plenty of reps to try to work on the pass.
Yep, that'd be awesome.
Showcase event at training camp.
Okay, so let's do it. But yeah, man, I'm so glad to be here, and you know, just staff, like just her, just introducing herself and coming in as welcoming. Everybody was just so welcoming here. So you know, I can't wait to be part of this thing. You know, so.
I talked to Coach Ferentz about you last week, and he said anytime they needed a big play, you were the guy that provided it.
Yes, sir.
What gave you the ability to do that in big moments?
I feel like to be on my offensive line, and I feel like the guys that were up front for me, you know, it wasn't just the relationships off the field. I mean, on the field, it was relationships off the field, you know. We hung out, you know, and them guys, we had a bond that it was just, you know, all of us together, it was great. So when we got on the field, it was just there. It was chemistry, you know, and I feel like, you know, they blocked their butts off of me, and so was the wide receivers and the tight end. So I feel like they helped me make them big plays, big times. You know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to score touchdowns. So like I said, when I at the Minnesota game, they scored the touchdowns, I did it, and so they did it all for me. So
did it matter? You guys were all Iowa guys. Like everybody's homegrown there.
Yeah.
There's none of the transfers and all that stuff.
Yeah, and that was the main thing about me is that I wanted to stay there. You know, I want to be on the Coach Ferentz. You know, I feel like he's one of the best to do it, you know, and he put 94 people in the league, so I wanted to be the next up. So I stayed there even when times hard, because I feel like now a lot of people will go when times get hard there, and I feel like, you know, that's what a lot of people have, you know, adversity, and see how you overcome it. So, you know, with me sophomore year getting hurt, and then me coming back junior year and having a great season was just showed it, you know. Stay there and, you know, get over the adversity and, you know, just keep being positive and keep staying forward. So
everybody in the building knew you were getting the ball, though. The popcorn
that's
seller
crazy.
knew you were getting the ball.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Still productive.
Yep, and I feel like, you know, that was the thing that we didn't care. You know, they knew it was the ball, but they had to stop it, and they couldn't stop it, so we just kept doing it.
Caleb not really knowing about backs on backers, you know, it's not a huge surprise because not every single team does it. And so unless you're a Steelers fan or maybe even a fan of a division rival and you pay attention to your division rivals, you wouldn't know about it, or unless your team does it as well, which like I said, not every team does. So, you know, but for him to be working even right now on his pass blocking ability is great. And, you know, if he gets enough practice and enough reps in, and, you know, he might be able to hold his own when you get to backs on backers, whether it's against Jack or Alex, TJ, Patrick, Peyton, Malik, whoever it is. Because even Malik, he'll experience it for the first time too. But I did not know that Caleb could also return kickoffs, and his 40 time is a little deceptive because he is a fast individual. I believe he could hit 22 miles an hour, I believe it was. They GPS'd him at Iowa. But his, 4.5 something, you know, whatever he ended up running in the 40s, did not do that justice. So he probably has a high top speed, but maybe not the best acceleration. So, but I can even take high speed if he can, you know, if he can get long runs. But also sometimes quickness is good, and sometimes speed is good. Le'Veon was not always the fastest, but, you know, he could really shoot the gap and had some burst to him. So we'll see if Caleb can do that as well.
Really aim to get more physical as a unit, as an entire collective with this draft. What aspect of your game do you think makes this collective more physical?
Yeah, I think that, you know, when you look at myself and the other guys who are drafted, Derek Harmon and Y.A. Black, just two, you know, all three of us, you know, try to play with, you know, that motor and that aggressiveness that you need to play at this level. So it's exciting. You know, we're trying to keep the toughness going, and every time we're out there trying to play as physical and as aggressive as we can.
What makes Will such a good quarterback? Are you surprised he was still there in the 6th?
Yeah, I was surprised he was still there. You know, Will's just like, he's everything you want in a quarterback. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know, I'm biased. I won a national championship with him, but, you know, he's confident. He presents himself well. He handles himself well. And he goes about preparation, you know, really hard, like I haven't seen from anyone else. So, you know, Will's a great guy and good leader, and, you know, I think he's going to have a good career.
Jack, we saw the inspirational story with you and the other Jack Sawyer in Columbus. The inspiration that he provided to your life, kind of what is that? And do you still plan on, you know, keeping him in your memory as an NFL player?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was just talking to his mom and dad a month or so ago, and you know, I am going to still continue to put on my wrist tape, you know, for games. And, you know, he was special. And I think if any one of you got a chance to meet him and talk to him, you would realize that really quickly. So, you know, always thinking about him. He's definitely going to be on my wrist on game days.
Jack, what do you know about the history of the outside linebacker position with the Steelers? There's been a lot of guys that have been stars there, you know, here over the years. What does that mean to be at a defense where your position is such an emphasis? Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting for me because, you know, it's a standard uphold, and obviously, you know, I got 3 really good players in my room too, and like I said, I'm just excited to come in and put my head down and work and you know, do anything I can to help the team and learn from those guys as much as I can.
Last one. You know, you go in the 4th round, and then you hear Will's name called. What was like the first interaction you had with Will after you were both drafted?
Yeah, it's funny. I remember had some of my friends and family over there now when Will was being called, and and everyone kind of huddled around the TV. And as soon as they said his name, the party cheered louder for him than they did for me, and we were all laughing about it. And then called him like an hour or two later, and it was just really cool. It's gonna be a cool experience being here with him already. It's been awesome, and it's always cool to play with your former teammate at the next level. So it's super exciting.
Day one.
Jack was on Big Ben's show, as well as Will was. They were on together. And Jack gave the story of how he first saw Will playing college football and his thoughts on him. And then his reaction to when he was being told that Ohio State was probably going to sign Will as a transfer. That's all on Big Ben's show, so go check that episode out if you haven't already.
It was great, man. I mean, that was just kind of the walkthrough, not really the practice, but no, it's just exciting to be out here, man. It's been my dream my whole life to be an NFL quarterback, and here we are. So I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can.
And you built a relationship with Mike Tomlin over the draft process, but what's it been like to have your first practice under him?
It's awesome. He is just an unbelievable guy to play for. Like you could just tell he brings energy, he brings positivity every single day. He's just a guy you want to be around, man. And I knew that throughout the draft process, and I knew that he was a guy I could see myself playing for and wanted to play for, and it all works out, man. God has a plan, so I'm just blessed to be here, and Coach T's he's the man.
You were a guy who had to prove yourself every year in college. How do you feel like that experience built you for being a 6th-round pick and having to do that all over again?
Yeah, I think it helped me a ton, man. Like that's kind of the story of my life, and I feel like to be in the NFL, like you're always fighting for a job no matter what. If you're not on your game one day, you can be gone. It's a business, and I think the things that I went through and learned how to push through adversity and how to come back from bad things. Like I learned so much, and that gave me a pretty hard head, and I got a chip on my shoulder, and I like to carry that with me, and I'm just excited to be here, man. It's I'm blessed, and it's couldn't be a better place. This the Steelers is built on blue collar, and that's how I like to play, man. Chip on my shoulder, like hard nose. That's what I'd like to be about.
With the landscape of their quarterback position being unsettled at this point, coming in as a 6th rounder, do you feel like you got more of an opportunity than the average 6th rounder coming in as a QB to open some eyes here?
I'm just treating it like any other day, man. Like I just want to come in here, I want to learn, I want to get better, and that's how I'm looking at this. Who knows what happens, man? Like I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about myself and learning and getting better through the process. I understand I'm a rookie and I don't know what I don't know, and I whoever's in the room, I know I just met Mason and obviously I know Skylar pretty darn well, but it's a great room. I'm blessed to be a part of it, and I just can't wait to get to work and learn from those guys, learn from Arthur and Tom and Bake and everybody.
What sort of sense have you gotten about how Pittsburgh has reacted to your draft choice?
I try to stay off social media, but me and Jack actually came out here last weekend, and we went to like a Pirates game, and went to Permane Brothers, did all the Pittsburgh things, and everyone that I met was super nice and very welcoming to us, and seemed like they were excited for us to be here. And I mean, shoot, I'm excited. I'm excited as hell to be here, and it's my home state. I literally was home, yesterday and drove up here 4 hours. It's no problem. So my family can get here easy. I'm close to what I'm used to home, and like I said, I'm just blessed.
Were you recognized at the Pirate game? Did they?
Well, I was recognized after they put us on the Jumbotron and had our jerseys with our names on the back. That made it pretty tough.
Even walking through the strip, did people?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I think there are definitely some Ohio State fans around here, so you got a little mixture of the Steelers and the Ohio State. So yeah, it's fun. It was cool.
So Will's history with Skylar is that his freshman year he was Skylar Thompson's backup, which is actually very interesting. And then, yes, he is from Pennsylvania, so he grew up in the weather, and then going to Kansas State and going to Ohio State, he played in the weather in college, so he's definitely used to really any form of weather, which is very nice. And he has that prototypical size. He's 6'4", 230 something maybe. He just doesn't have that that insane arm. And then he did have the couple of games against Oregon, which he played against Harmon. And in those games, the first one was where he slid a little late. He was told he needs 15. He could have taken the dump off, the check down, whatever you want to call it, to the running back. Was it a running back or was it a receiver? I don't remember. But that was only like 6 yards, so he decided to, and they also had a timeout. So you didn't have to like get out of bounds. So he decided to run. He ended up only getting 10 when he slid. But by the time he slid, time had run out. So they couldn't even try for the game-winning field goal. And then the second one, I believe, was the Rose Bowl, where Ohio State did win that one. So all these guys playing in the Big Ten, they're all going to know each other, really. And that's where you try to have, at least decent relationships, because you never know who's going to end up being your teammate at the next level.
Is there a thing that they're asking you to work on more than anything else right now? Is it just kind of going through the fundamentals at this point?
It's the fundamentals. That's where everyone has to start.
Do you see? Are you going to be taking any reps at nose tackle at all?
Couldn't say. Just, wherever it tells me to be, I'll be there.
We walked up a little late. Just what are the emotions right now, just actually being out here and getting some reps in finally?
It's great. I mean, after not playing football since January, getting done with the bowl game, that prep was just long. It just felt like a big waiting game. But now finally playing football, it's great.
What excites you most about this defense?
Man, just the toughness. I mean, there's a lot of tough guys and there's a lot of veterans in the room that I can really learn from.
Yeah, it felt great. I mean, it always feels good being able to play football and go out here with the guys.
Yeah, now you told us that when you were drafted, you heard your name called. You were sitting on the couch that your dad also was sitting on when he heard his name called. I gotta know, is that a 30-year-old couch?
No, so different couch, but same exact house, basically same exact spot.
Yeah.
Just new furniture.
Yeah, and again, what were those emotions?
Oh, man. I mean, it was awesome. Just being able to see my phone ring, seeing the 412 Pittsburgh. I mean, even before I answered it, I flashed my phone to my dad. And he was like, answer the dang phone. Like, what are you doing? So I'm on the phone. He immediately has my brother grab the Steelers hat. My mom sees that, starts bawling, grandma bawling. It was just a fun time, like, just be able to see how happy they are for me and just kind of, it was a crazy moment.
Is it safe to say this is where you wanted to end up?
Absolutely. 100%.
How's it been so far? Just getting into the defense, special teams, all that.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved it so far. The coaches are great. I feel like I'm learning a lot and able to adapt that onto the field during practice. And just with the system and the scheme, it's something I feel comfortable out there doing. So it's almost something I don't got to think too much. Even this early, I'm able to just go out there and play.
Knowing the Steelers, what would you do? Does that help with that, adapting to it?
Absolutely. I mean, watching the Steelers defense year after year for as long as I've been a fan, since I was basically born, it's something where I know the type of defense they want to play year in and year out.
What excites you most about this defense?
Just the downhill attacking mentality. That's the biggest thing, is they don't let people run over them. Everyone's running to the ball. They're just aggressive. I like that aggressive mindset.
So I did not expect YAs to be that short. And there wasn't a whole lot of information that I could take from there, but it's the same, where they all know each other from playing. But now Carson here, I do want to make something clear, and I made it clear before as well. And Tomlin even said it when he was on the phone with him when they were getting drafted. More than they were drafting him. So Carson is here because of what he was able to do in college. He is not here because of who his dad is. By the way, that's a great story. To show his dad, hey, it's the 412, it's Pittsburgh. Dad's like, well, answer it. And then, his brother goes to go get the Pittsburgh hat. Mom and grandma are crying because they're so happy. And, you get to play for the same team that your dad played for. And that's awesome. But he is here because of what he can do. Like, if it was the case that, you just bring in family or friends, like, they would have brought in Dino Tomlin. Instead, he went to Tampa. They would have signed Jordan Clark. Instead, he went to the Jets. and that's obviously Mike's son, and that's Ryan Clark's son. They would still have Derek Watt as a fullback. They would, they would have kept the Edmonds brothers together for as long as possible. But that's just the thing is, and also they wouldn't have let Nate Herbig leave. Like, they would have kept him. So Carson really is here because of what he did in college. And, don't think it's just because of his dad. Because his dad was drafted in the mid-90s, maybe 95, as a first-round tight end. And then his dad, I think, became a scout. Like, it's not just because of who his dad is. And that has very little to no factor in it, probably. Did the Steelers draft TJ Watt just because he was JJ Watt's younger brother? No. It's because TJ could play football. Connor, he can play football. Yeah, he's Cam's younger brother, but he can play football. You do not get this far. You do not get drafted. You do not make the team. You do not make the team multiple years. Just because you're related to somebody. So, it really is because of what Carson can do. And he's going to play a ton of special teams, and that's great. So, I want to make that clear. So, that is it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Turn notifications on. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching and listening as I basically went off memory of what I said when I originally recorded this.